We've reached the end of this series with just one final position left uncovered. Over the last week or so, I've been putting out rankings of every starting player by position from each team, and I've already put out videos for the point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, and power forwards, which means that in today's video, we will be ranking the starting center from all 30 NBA teams. Those videos will be linked in the description below, so if you somehow missed them, go and check them out. Before we start though, make sure to subscribe to the channel as all support is very much appreciated. Now with that being said, let's begin. Starting at the bottom and working our way to the top at number 30, we have Cody Zeller of the Charlotte Hornets. Now, Zeller being at the bottom of this list doesn't mean he's a bad player, but amongst starters, he just doesn't have the talent that others do. His best role on a team would probably be served off the bench, but because the Hornets are so poorly constructed, he finds himself in a starting role. At number 29, we have Alex Len of the Atlanta Hawks. Len, for most of his career, had been a major disappointment considering he was drafted very early in 2013, but never really lived up to the hype. But since his arrival in Atlanta, he somewhat rejuvenated his career. He's still near the bottom of this list compared to other starters, but he no longer looks like as big of a bust as he once did. At number 28, we have Dwight Powell of the Dallas Mavericks. Powell doesn't dominate in any particular way, but he plays his role exceptionally well on both ends of the floor. He's a very good role man in the pick and roll, and catches lobs and finishes at the rim highly efficiently. At number 27, we have Enes Kanter of the Boston Celtics. Going from Al Horford and Aaron Baines to Kanter is going to be a massive drop-off, especially on the defensive end of the floor. Kanter tends to struggle mightily on the defensive end, and while he does score well down in the post and rebound at a good rate, his defensive struggles result in him being near the bottom of this list. At number 26, we have Dewayne Dedmon of the Sacramento Kings. Dedmon played very well in Atlanta over the past few seasons, and as a result got a nice contract from the Kings this summer. He stretches the floor well and is a decent defender and rebounder, and he just does a good job playing his role without trying to do too much. At number 25, we have Thomas Bryant of the Washington Wizards. After not really getting much of a chance in his rookie season in LA, he broke out and was very productive in Washington last season. He scores the ball extremely efficiently at 62% and is just a tough player in the paint. At number 24, we have Ivica Zubac of the Los Angeles Clippers. Zubac is another big man that benefited greatly from leaving the Lakers in a similar light to Bryant, who we just discussed. He played really well after he was traded to the Clippers last season and established himself as a nice option in the post. At number 23, we have Tristan Thompson of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Thompson's season went under the radar a bit last year because of how bad the Cavs were, but he's still one of the very best rebounders in the league and a double-double threat on a nightly basis. At number 22, we have Wendell Carter Jr. of the Chicago Bulls. As a rookie last year, Carter showed off a very promising outlook on potentially becoming a very good all-around big man moving forward, but he struggled with injuries and missed about half the season. Moving on to year 2, the Bulls will need him to stay healthy because him having a big year would help them progress in a big way. At number 21, we have Mitchell Robinson of the New York Knicks. Robinson was the biggest gem of the draft last year, and he became one of the best shot blockers in the entire NBA immediately, while only playing limited minutes. In a bigger role next year, I can definitely see him breaking out and skyrocketing up this list, but for now, I can't jump the gun too fast, so he comes in at number 21. At number 20, we have Derrick Favors of the New Orleans Pelicans. Favors is a solid big body in the paint that finishes well around the rim and does a lot of things well. He played a lot of power forward in Utah, which honestly held him back, because when he logged center minutes, his production skyrocketed, and in New Orleans, he won't have to share that role with Rudy Gobert. At number 19, we have Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat. Adebayo is one of the most promising young big men in the league, and with Hassan Whiteside gone, he's finally going to get the center spot full time. He's got nice touch on his mid-range jumper, springy athleticism, and very good defensive instincts. At number 18, we have Kevon Looney of the Golden State Warriors. Of all the players that played a big role in the Warriors dynasty over the years, Looney was definitely the most slept on. He's incredible on defense, not only as a rim protector, but also as someone that can switch onto smaller perimeter players and hold his own, which was super valuable to the team in the postseason. At number 17, we have Brook Lopez of the Milwaukee Bucks. Lopez has done a terrific job rebranding himself as a player, transitioning fully from a post-up big to a floor-spacing three-point specialist and a rim protector. He's a big part of the Bucks, and his spacing helps Giannis get the space he needs to dominate inside. At number 16, we have DeAndre Ayton of the Phoenix Suns. While Doncic and Trey got all of the buzz last year as rookies, the number 1 pick from the draft, Ayton, had a low-key really good first season, putting up 16 points and 10 rebounds per game. He has a nice face-up game and does really well down low, and should become one of the best players at the position in a few years. At number 15, we have DeMarcus Cousins of the Los Angeles Lakers. The injury Cousins suffered last year really hampered him a ton as a player, and last year was honestly really bad for Boogie. His defensive ability fell off a cliff, he wasn't able to overpower players quite the same on offense, and he just looked bad. Hopefully he can bounce back a bit on the Lakers, but he's still a long way from his former stardom days. At number 14, we have Steven Adams of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Adams is one of the toughest big men in the league and has for a while sacrificed his own numbers for the betterment of the team, especially with boxing out phenomenally and helping Russell Westbrook grab rebounds to go initiate the offense at a quicker pace. At number 13, we have Jonas Valanciunas of the Memphis Grizzlies. When he got traded to the Grizzlies last year, he was a legitimately great big man. He averaged 20 points and 11 rebounds per game in Memphis, while also blocking almost 2 shots per game. And while the Grizzlies have begun their rebuilding process, he will be a solid veteran presence in the lineup. At number 12, we have Marc Gasol of the Toronto Raptors. Gasol may be on the downslope of his career at this point, but he still provides a nice offensive scoring punch as a floor spacer, and defensively he's still a top-tier rim protector. And when the Raptors took home the title this year, he played a major role in it. At number 11, we have Jarrett Allen of the Brooklyn Nets. The starting spot might not actually go to Allen because of the team signing DeAndre Jordan, but I see Allen as a much better player at this point and think it would be a mistake to start Jordan, so hopefully he wins the job in training camp. Allen has put together a very strong first 2 seasons where he's become notorious for blocking big-time stars at the rim, and if they bench him for Jordan, who is very clearly over the hill, that would be a big mistake. Now, to start off the top 10, we have Jusuf Nurkic of the Portland Trail Blazers. He's going to likely miss at minimum half the season and probably more, but he took his game to a new high last year and played a massive role as the third option alongside Lillard and McCollum. At number 9, we have Miles Turner of the Indiana Pacers. Turner's offensive game may still have yet to reach the potential that many thought it had, but defensively he's elevated himself to being one of the very best paint protectors in the whole league. Plus, on the offensive end, he still does do a pretty good job shooting threes and spreading the floor, which helps the Pacers' offense run smoothly. At number 8, we have Andre Drummond of the Detroit Pistons. He's led the league in rebounding in 3 of the last 4 seasons, gives you 17 points per game, and blocks almost 2 shots every night, being one of the most productive big men in the league. At number 7, we have Clint Capella of the Houston Rockets. Capella may have come up small in the playoffs against the Warriors, but overall he had a terrific season of playing very good defense and finishing efficiently in the paint as a beneficiary of James Harden's playmaking. At number 6, we have LaMarcus Aldridge of the San Antonio Spurs. Admittedly, I made a mistake in my last video by putting Aldridge on the power forwards list because he will more than likely be starting at center this year for the Spurs. With that said, he's an all-star and capable of putting up big numbers, and for that, he's near the top of this list. Now, starting off the top 5, we have Nikola Vucevic of the Orlando Magic. Nikola has been for a while a very good player on a bad team, but last year he elevated his game even further and became an all-star while being a major factor in the Magic making the playoffs for the first time in a while. He's so well-rounded offensively and can impact games in a variety of ways. At number 24, we have Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz. Gobert has won each of the last 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, and for good reason. With that being said though, in each of the last 2 playoffs, he's been played off the floor at times because he's struggled defending in space and he was forced out onto the perimeter where he struggled. The regular season impact is great, but he desperately needs to improve in the postseason. At number 3, we have Karl-Anthony Towns of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Towns is one of the most offensively gifted big men in the entire NBA, being able to shoot incredibly well from 3, dominate the post, and even take bigs off the dribble and expose mismatches there. His struggles, however, come on the other end of the floor as his defense has been very subpar since he became a pro, but overall, he's still one of the top players in the league. At number 2, we have Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets' whole offense basically runs through Jokic, and he plays the role of both go-to scorer and playmaker because he's the best passing big man in the league and honestly one of the best passing big men ever. He has a legit case to be the number 1 center, but like Towns, his defense holds him back because he's very bad at times on that end of the floor. And finally, at number 1 on this list, we have Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers. Embiid gives you 27 and 13 a night while giving you all defense-esque defense and rim protection. His impact on the floor is massive even on his off nights, and the team plays much better with him on the court, as evidenced by his plus-minus in the playoffs, where the Sixers outscored the Raptors by over 100 points with him on the floor, but yet they still lost the series. Barring health, he's one of the most dominant forces in the entire league, and probably will be for a while. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NBA content, and check out the other position rankings I made down in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.